Hey, it's Jane. It's been a few days. I meant to actually do this a couple days ago, but I don't know. I didn't. I slept in instead. I've been sleeping a lot recently. Um, so I can sit up now, which is fantastic. I still got a little bit of an open area at the bottom, but it's much, much smaller and it doesn't sting very much. And I am now able to sit in a chair. I actually sat in a dining room chair all evening last night at my aunt's place for Christmas dinner. So that was nice. Um, I was so getting sick and tired of not being able to sit in a chair. Um, so, given how well last night went for sitting, um, I am going to spend tomorrow organizing my desk in here, which is directly behind where the camera is. Um, so that I can get my office area, my work area set up properly so that I can start coding on my stock trading project, which is I've so been wanting to get that thing going. So now I have the time and energy and the ability to sit up, and so it's time to get started. Um, Technically, I'm supposed to be dilating 4 times a day until the 4th of January. But because I've been sleeping a lot over the last few days, I've actually had a number of just like 3 times a day dilating, which I don't think has made any difference. Hasn't been an issue because my healing's really come along. So with that, um, so a couple videos ago, I showed off the new dilators. Um, and just to reiterate, um, the standard number for orange dilator is 37.2 millimeters in diameter, and the two that I use, the smaller one is 35 millimeters, and the larger one is 41 millimeters, which is it's big one. It's a snug fit. So I've been using those two exclusively now, and they're working out a hell of a lot better. And I've got a new routine with them that I find works better for me. Because the old routine is you do 5 minutes on the number 3 and then 25 minutes on the number 4. And that was fine early on with swelling and all that. That was the perfect setup, worked great. But once once the majority of the swelling went away and a lot of the discomfort went away too, because I'm having very little discomfort with dilating now, and certainly I haven't had any bleeding since 2 weeks after. So it's been weeks since I've had any kind of bleeding. So now that I'm not even having any discomfort with dilating, what I'm doing is I'm putting the 35 millimeter in for 10 minutes and pushing gently, but not a lot, but just gently pushing. And then I put the 41 millimeter in for 10 minutes. And because it's so big around, it doesn't really go in that far, but it does stretch outwards a lot, which actually I find very helpful, because after 10 minutes of it being in there pushing outwards and inwards, I mean, I'm always putting inwards pressure, but it just by its size is pushing outwards a lot. Then I switch back to the 35 millimeter, and once I switch back to the 35 millimeter, almost the entire length of it goes in, which would be like 4 dots on one of the standard dilators, which I'm totally happy about. And because there's no discomfort, when I do put the 35 back in for the second time, I push it all the way in that it'll go, and then I stretch my legs out straight on the bed instead of like, up like this, right? I set them straight out straight, and because of the lip on the end of the dilator where you hold it, it grabs the skin on the inside of the thigh really nicely. So I actually kind of tuck my thighs over it. So I put my legs out straight and cross them like this, right? And then I kind of tuck the skin on the inside of my thigh over the lip of the dilator, and it just holds it in there. It's the perfect pressure. It's almost all the way in. It's like only that much of it sticking out. It's in the other room, so I can't really show it to you. But I mean, it's a pretty decent size. I would say again, the amount that's going in would be up to the fourth dot on the old style dilator. Um, and then for the last 10, 12 minutes, because it depends on how I feel, right? I might let it sit in there for an extra couple of minutes after. Um, it just gets held in place by my legs holding it there, and I can just lay out, stretched out straight. It's really comfortable. Yeah, it's fantastic. Things are coming along super fine. Everything is pink and happy. As I said, the bottom is closing up really well, and it's stinging a lot less. I'm able to sit upright. Um, um, I'm still using pads when I go out. I'm still using pads, but I switched to really, really, really thin pads because there's very little discharge whenever I go out anywhere. So I've gone to the very thin pads that are a lot more comfortable. Um, so yeah, This is basically I'm in a really fantastic place with the healing process, and I have to find it. I don't know where it is. My room is an absolute disaster area right now, and I do have to clean up my room in order to get my desk set up. Anyways, because I think the main thing is I've really got to put together all of my shelving for my clothing so that I can get my clothing out of boxes and into shelves. That'll go a long way to making this room a lot easier to get around in. But also in the process, I will find my endoscope, and I'll do some exploring inside with the endoscope. And I don't know if you can see. I'll do some exploring inside with the endoscope, and if the footage looks good, like it's not grainy or distorted or anything like that, like if I get good footage out of it, I'll put it up as a short video, um, so that you can see what the inside of a vaginoplasty with cavity looks like. So yeah, and it's here. It's in one of these. I got some trunks here, and it's in one of these trunks. I'm 100% sure. So it's just a matter of getting my shelving sorted out, getting the clothes onto the shelving, which frees up boxes, frees up surfaces. Then I can get into the trunks, and I can start on getting clothing out of the trunks, and my room is an absolute disaster area. Absolute disaster area. So, still sleeping quite a lot. Still sleeping quite a lot. But feeling a lot better. Dilating, as I said, almost no discomfort anymore with dilating. Certainly no pain. Certainly no bleeding. I did have excess yellow discharge for several days. and didn't like the look of it. The volume kind of bothered me, and the yellowness of it just didn't. It looked more yellow than I thought it should be. So, again, I don't know if it was a bacterial infection or not, but I thought, you know what, better safe than sorry. So, what I did was, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else do this because I have absolutely no idea whether this was a good idea or not. But I'm in a situation where it's hard for me to deal with medical professionals because my family doctor is in Toronto. If I'm dilating 4 times a day, I literally just can't go to Toronto for an appointment. And that would be an appointment to. I haven't even met this doctor before because my actual family doctor retired last year and I got transferred over to a new doctor and I've never spoken to this new doctor. So I have to make an appointment to go and see the doctor where we kind of, go over my medical history and all that sort of stuff kind of so that she can get to know me, and then I asked for the referral to a gynecologist, and God knows how long it takes to get into a gynecologist because I know they're hard to get into these days. Particularly, it would have to be one that has experience working with trans women because I'm cannot. It doesn't make sense for me to talk to a gyno that doesn't know the difference between, a trans vagina and a cis vagina. Like that's really of no use to me. So I don't really easily and it's only because I don't live in Toronto at the time, right? If I was in Toronto, all of this would be no problem. But because I'm not in Toronto right now, it's very awkward for me to deal with all this medical stuff. So I'm kind of making shit up as I go. So I don't know whether what I'm doing is the best thing to do or not, but it appears to be working. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. But basically, because I felt like the yellow discharge was more than it should be, because it was less and going clear, and then it started increasing in volume and going back to more yellow again. So I just felt, this kind of feels bacteriological. So what I did was 2 days in a row, the first dilation, I didn't use the big dilator. I only used the 35, and I didn't do any pushing. I just put it in till it stopped and just left it there. And so I would put it in, get lube all over the inside, take it out, put polysporin on the end, put it in, work it around, so it's all over the place. Take it out, put some more polysporin on the end, put it in, work it around, and just kind of keep working the dilator around and keep mixing the polysporin with the lube and just kind of getting it all over the entire internal surface um, for that first dilation. And then the next three dilations of the day were just standard dilations as I described earlier. Do that 2 days in a row, take a day off, and then on the fourth day, do it again. And then after that, stop. And I have stopped, and I'm just kind of monitoring it now. So my discharge now is minimal, it's clear, and we'll see what happens. If it goes back to increased volume in yellow again, then clearly the polysporin is not the solution, which could very well be because I do know that vaginal bacterial infections are not the same as other skin bacterial infections. So I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm literally making this up as I go, which is why I would say to anybody, don't do what I do. But I had to do something. So that's what I did. The discharge didn't have any odor as far as I could tell, but as I've explained before, I have virtually no sense of smell. So I mean, it could have an odor, and I just can't smell it. I have no idea. Um, No discomfort, no pain, no anything like that. Just this excessive yellow discharge. So, and I'm not, no panicking or anything, no worrying or anything. It's more like I'm trying out the polysporin. If it seems like it makes a difference, I'll just stick with that until I can see a gyno, and then the gyno is going to tell me exactly what the right thing to do is, and I follow the gyno's instructions from that point forward. Until then, I kind of have to make shit up on my own because again, I can go to emergency, but I'm not going to go to emergency because um, of you know yellow discharge. I'm going to go to emergency because of bleeding, because of extreme pain, you know, anything that's very much out of the ordinary, like um, a wound that really does not look good at all. Things like that I'm going to emergency for, but I don't have any of that. Everything is pink and happy looking, and I have no pain, no discomfort, no bleeding, no anything. Everything is great. And even now, after this self treatment with the polysporin, my discharge is minimal and clear. So, we'll see how it goes. Um, I don't know how helpful that is, but I would imagine that there are some of us out there who are in more rural places like I am, where access to healthcare is not as convenient, particularly when you have to dilate 4 times a day, right? Like if I was dilating twice a day, so I could spend the entire middle of the day going to Toronto and back, well, it would be a different matter, right? But if dilating 4 times a day, it's not possible for me to do that because it literally is a day trip for me to go to Toronto and back. Started putting lights up, which I felt really good about, and then an entire string wasn't working. And then I kind of like lost interest in it because I was like, fuck, I have to go through and check every single bulb one at a time. Yeah. I don't know. I'm finding I got a lot less energy. A lot less energy. Um, so hopefully that comes back. Because other than that, I'm fine. Other than that, I feel great. But yeah, just I've been sleeping a lot, and I start working on something, and then I run out of steam fairly quickly, and take more naps, and yeah. Now, I've been talking about the recovery process almost exclusively, like literally almost exclusively, because that's what's obviously been the most foremost in my mind. Is the recovery, and obviously, as you've known from watching earlier videos, some of the earlier times were pretty rough, um, and pretty intense, I should say. Um, and I haven't really had a lot of time to think about, when things really settle down. But things are actually starting to settle down, and I'm starting to get sensation. It's still mostly numb. Um, what's going on in there? Why is that so? Yeah, it's kind of damp actually. Sorry, you gotta forgive me for a moment. It's actually quite damp. So there's a lot of like there's a there's a lot of skin that is starting to innervate again. It still feels fairly numb. But I'm starting to get some sensation, which is really nice. Um, and the uh, swelling is down quite a lot, and yeah, and and I don't know, feels good. It feels good. I've been feeling really starting to get to know my new body parts, you know? The whole clitoral structure is definitely still very tender and burny. Um, like if I, I've been having a lot of sex dreams recently, and then I wake up from the sex dreams, and the whole clitoral area is like burning because it's been stimulated from the dreaming. I'll be glad when it's doesn't feel like it's burning anymore. But yeah, I've been feeling really good about it. I don't know. Cause like I've been just telling myself that the main reason for doing this was just to have a sense of completion. Um, just to feel like everything's done because I had no use for the stupid useless appendage, and it was just in the way, and I wanted a sense of completion. But now it's starting to really become a part of me in such a way that I feel like I've had something added, right? Like my thinking before was really about getting rid of something I didn't want or need, but now it really feels like I've added something that I want, but also that makes me feel, I don't know, makes me feel good. It's hard to put into words, the emotional experience. It's new. Actually, it is new, you know? Like when I did my orchiectomy back in 2005, that was an act of desperation. That was something that needed to happen because, oh my God, the physical dysphoria I had because of that. And so when that was done, it was a sense of like just, oh my God, thank God they're gone. Oh, good riddance. And then when I started on hormones 5 months later, so I did get to experience menopausal symptoms, which was not pleasant. Um, when I went on hormones, 5 months later, it felt really good because now I was doing something new and exciting, and you know, things could change in ways that I hoped, but also in ways that I didn't expect as well, which is really neat. And I have that same feeling now with the bottom surgery. I'm starting to feel the same way I felt, when I went on hormones back in 2006. It kind of feels like the start of a new adventure, you know? Which I mean in retrospect it does make sense, but my mind has just always been about, I'm just doing this for completion, to get rid of the stupid useless appendage. It just, once it's done, then I can, I don't know, just go on with my life, you know kind of as I had. But now it's like, no, no, I think I can actually have a better life. I think I can be not just happier, but I think I can be more myself now. And, and I'm looking forward to finding a relationship. Really looking forward to finding a relationship next summer. Because, yeah, it's been a long time. It's been many years since I've been in a relationship. So, but yeah, I think I can officially say my recovery, like the uphill climb part of the recovery, is done, and I'm on a level service, and everything is easy now. And unless there's any complications, which I don't foresee, I will continue on a level surface, and then just like very soon in a few days I'll be switching to dilating 3 times a day, and I'll do that for 2 months, and then I'll be down to 2 times a day for 3 months, and then once a day for 6 months, and then the year mark will come, and like everything will be completely healed, and then I can move on from there, you know. And I've been thinking too about what to do with that, with the whole area down there, because I've done a lot of hair removal, like a lot of hair removal. There is not much hair down there. And I kind of want to get rid of the rest of it. I kind of want to do laser just to get rid of all of it so that there's nothing. And I don't know, maybe I was thinking about tattoos. Because I do have scars, right? And the scars will diminish to a certain point, but they're not going to go away completely. And yeah, I've been thinking about like what kind of cool tattoo designs I could do down there to cover the scars and just make an artistic statement of the whole thing. I think that would be kind of cool. Um, Anyways, it's something I'm contemplating. I haven't got any design ideas. Um, yeah, I don't really have any design ideas, but the idea itself is intriguing. So I think it's something that I am going to think about, That'd be neat to just get rid of all of the hair altogether because I don't want it anyways. And, you know, real cool tattoo design all the way around. And yeah, that'll be fun. But now that I am at that point where I can sit upright comfortably, like I'm totally comfortable right now, I'm sitting cross-legged, my back is straight, I'm not sitting on my tailbone. I can sit in my office chair like this. So it's time for me to get coding on my project. I got work to do. Good Lord, do I have work to do. It's a big project. It's a lot of coding. Yeah, so as I go forward and I shift over to making these videos over at the desk and switch over from using the phone to using a webcam and all that sort of stuff. I think the subject matter is going to switch a lot because there won't be a lot more to say about the the post-surgical stuff, because from this point on things are just gonna be regular. Like there's nothing changing really from this point on. There is still a little bit that needs to close up, but it's almost closed up, and it'll be closed up maybe in a week or two. And so yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really feel like talking about anything political or anything like that because I'm tired. I've been tired a lot this last week. More tired than I was before, actually, over the course of this last week. So I need to just get my energy back. And that's it. So again, yeah, I started putting up stuff, but now it's busted, so I have to find the fault. So at some point, I will eventually get the whole bedroom done up really nice. And when I do get it done up really nice, I'll do a tour and show everything. But I think it's going to take a week or two before any of that happens because energy. So I think that's it. I love you all, and I will talk to you again in a couple days, I guess. I want to be productive, so hopefully I will can be productive over the next couple of days, and then show some productivity. Okay, bye.